You already know what it is. Take 5 pod. Let me get comfortable for this because this is definitely going to be a good one. I said take 5, but we got 4. I'm Mo, as you know. We got Ian in here to the right of me. We got Jew in here to the right of him. And we got Lil Jake to the right of him. How you boys feeling this morning?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Straight.
Pretty good.
Definitely straight. Definitely straight. Few things that we got to get into. Housekeeping. Let me get ready. Let me get my thoughts in order actually before we even, get into this. But yes, it is episode 15, 5,280. All right, so we got some good basketball that we got to talk about here. Housekeeping. Had 2 guests in 2 consecutive past weeks. All right, so we have Bryce and we have Fantasy Matters. So make sure y'all check out those episodes and make sure you check out those guys' profiles. We'll have some good talk there, some good deliberation on some Hawks basketball and, of course, some football as well. It is March, okay? So we're thinking we're going to have to get this March Madness going. And NCAA men's basketball, of course. It's gonna heat up. It's definitely gonna heat up. So we're gonna have a little bracket challenge that we're gonna put out there. So definitely look for more information about that. We definitely want as many people as we can to, come in and see where your knowledge lies. See what you're thinking about this tournament, who you guys got, and yeah, that should be very very nice. And without further ado, I guess we can go ahead and get into this. Let's just go ahead and get into it. All right. First things first, we got to cover some football real fast. All right. So I definitely need to hear from y'all. Russell Wilson, it was brought to my attention that he was paid to GTF off the Denver Broncos. They definitely gave that man, 40 billion just so he could slide
80.
away.
Almost
80. What?
It's like 80 million for 2 years.
It was like 40 a year.
Oh, it was 40 a year. Let's throw. So again, 80 beans in total just to get him off the Denver Broncos. So I want to ask y'all. Say it again.
I said, is that future son?
Yeah, that's baby future right there. That was at the All-Star game.
And that's lit.
A little matching jerseys there. You feel me? It's reported that he met with the Steelers. Supposedly reported. Ooh, good. He's supposedly linking up with the Steelers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other names in the pot: the Giants. I've heard the Las Vegas Raiders. Where do y'all think? Where do you think he's gonna go?
Go ahead, Jacob. What were you saying?
I was saying I also heard the Falcons. I was hearing that the Steelers and the Falcons were competing for both Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, or not competing, but those were a couple of names on the table. I really hope we don't pick him up. I don't think he will go to the Falcons. I think I really could see him at the Steelers because Kenny Pickett is not the one. But it would be a short term. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I personally would rather have him than Kirk Cousins. Like if we're gonna go old, I'd rather go old and cheap than old and hurt and expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm hearing a lot about Kirk too, but I feel like Russ should go. Russ should go to the Giants. I feel like because they already paid Daniel Jones #1, and they can't really let him go. So bringing in Russ for another mil wouldn't really kill them quarterback wise, money wise. They could still pay their quarterback it would be almost like paying your quarterback one contract and having both of them. I think it would be kind of a quarterback competition. If I was the Giants, I would be done with Daniel Jones. He's not good. So, but I think that's a good spot for him.
If I was Russ, I would definitely want to go to the Falcons. That division sweep, that's a lot of wins right there. Pretty much I would say a free playoff spot because I think Baker's not going to stay.
Baker's staying. Baker's definitely staying.
No, he's not. He's getting offers from literally everyone.
Bro, Mike Evans, when Mike Evans re-signed, Baker was confirmed staying.
Okay. Anyways, the point I'm making is I don't think that division's strong. Like that division is pretty weak. Like even if
It is.
he stays, and I think even if he goes to the Steelers, like that division is pretty tough. With Lamar and Joe Burrow coming back, and like the Browns aren't sweet.
And the Browns, yeah.
Yeah, but and also I don't think like the Giants. I don't think that's a good fit. Like he has no weapons on that team really outside like Darren Waller.
It's just about him playing though. Like I don't know if you can go. I don't know. It depends on what he wants. Like yeah, if you want to go be a Super Bowl quarterback, like yeah, I want to go to the Giants. But like if you want to go be a starting quarterback, then yeah, you should go to the Giants.
You saw that interview with Brandon Marshall. He was like, "I want to win 2 more." Like he's talking about
like,
Super Bowls.
You know,
Huh?
be for real. Like
I'm just saying, like that's what he wants. So I think the Falcons probably the best chance. Like,
if he wants to come to the Falcons, then he's coming for $1 million. And I'm cool with that,
bro. He's not signing on any team for $1 million.
He has to.
He should. He doesn't have to, but like he should.
The Giants will pay him $1 million.
No, like this is how it goes. Like, so he's already getting the $39 million from the Giants next year, or not the Giants, from the Broncos next year. So whatever his new team offers him, it's like subtracted out. Like, so I think he could only get a certain amount of money. Like, I don't think he can get another $50 million contract and then get that $40 million.
Yeah,
it's like if let's say the Giants offered him $10 million. Then that means it's $10 million minus the $39 million that he was supposed to get from the Broncos.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna want to sign for
so you should sign for no dollars so you can stick it to the Broncos who just cut you.
Yeah.
Like if he signs for $1 million, the Broncos have to pay him $38 million next year, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's the most logical thing to do. Like
and your team is now better though.
Yeah.
So like he should, if he's smart, he should swallow his pride to sign for a veteran minimum on any team that he goes to, so like the rest of the team can be built up around him, and he'll still F the Broncos.
A couple things though. Obviously, it can't just be any team. You know, I heard we mentioned the Giants and then the Falcons. Let's just start with the Falcons. Like let's just. There's an elephant in the room. Like there's an obvious reason why he cannot sign with the Atlanta Falcons. Okay.
No, there's not. We don't care.
Yes, there is.
I care about Future, but as a Falcons fan, I don't. Like as an Atlanta resident, yeah, Future is like one of the Atlanta ghosts. But I don't care when it comes to the Falcons. If we're winning championships, like I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about him.
Yes, it is. It's about me.
It's about him and his family, though. Like
no,
that's just extra drama that they don't need to deal with. Like,
I understand that, but like, come on now.
What do you mean? Come on now. Like,
he'll allow. Okay, let's look at the opposite side. He'll allow his stepson to get back close to his father.
Yeah.
Right. So he can be close to his biological father, and he can still be a good stepdad, like he's been doing.
I just don't know if that's in his best interest, to be honest.
What are they going to do?
I simply do not believe that the distraction is in his best interest.
Is he going to pull up on Russ? Like, is that what we're saying?
I mean, would he not?
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no? Why not? Like,
if Future pulled up on Russ and like Russ actually wanted smoke, like it would probably be bad for Future.
It's not even about smoke. It's just the drama, the unnecessary drama, the distractions from the on the field day to day. That's all I'm just trying to say. But let's talk about the Giants, though. That's a lot of scrutiny as a quarterback of the Giants. They're going to be, hoping for a lot of production from this man. Does he want to put himself through that? And we just mentioned the fact that the weapons, the pieces aren't, great over there. Is that really the best situation for him?
I don't know what situation is great. Like, you got to think the best teams already have quarterbacks, like most of the best teams. Like, there's a few teams where he could come in and play, like we said, the Falcons, and you can play and be successful. If Baker
needs to go to the Vegas,
the Bucks,
go to Vegas, man.
The Raiders, yeah, I guess the Raiders, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it kind of depends on what they're trying to build there. Like I don't know.
I can see the Raiders working for sure because Sierra, like, she definitely slide to Vegas. Like,
she probably would, but like,
She'd be lit. They'd be lit.
They just got a new coach last year. Like, what's their timeline for winning? Like, as the Raiders? I don't know.
It's a good question. Only one way to find out. You got to keep a close eye on the situation and see. But I will let you know, Atlanta Falcons, that's dead. Let's stop.
If we got Russ, we would be sprung ahead as a franchise. Like, to sign a quarterback for $1 million, like that springs the rest of the team so far ahead. Like, we could go get L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs. Like, that's been rumored. It's been us and one other team. I forget who contacted them, but it's for a second rounder. We'll get one of the best corners in football. We can have L'Jarius Sneed, Terrell, and Jesse Bates on our roster. That would be DBU. We signed back that linebacker. I can't remember his name. Not Caden Ellis, the other one. He's tough. And our D line, we could address that in the first round of the draft because we didn't have to go and draft a quarterback. And we could, like, I don't know, we would get like maybe a young quarterback back into the second round, or like young quarterback. I don't know. We'll see. But
and Russ still has some years on him.
Not too many.
Not
like
really.
I think he's
Mike,
30,
that's what I was going to
35.
ask.
He's
How
35,
many
but that's what I'm
years?
saying, though. You could get his protege in the draft as well. Like, there's guys who are projected to go like second round. Like, I think Penix is supposed to go second round. I know they're talking about JJ McCarthy going first round now, which I don't know. But I forget who else. I think they said Penix. I don't want Bo Nix. Spencer Rattler, like he actually looked good last year. So like there's guys to get who can, Russ can mentor for the Falcons. So
Is Russell Wilson in the business of mentoring?
No.
Yeah,
Mentorship?
he
I
will.
mean, he's a
He's a
diva.
veteran, bro.
Let's keep it above.
He's not a
He's
diva.
Super Bowl quarterback veteran.
He's not a diva.
Bro, those narratives
That's
are
crazy.
Those are bad narratives.
Dude.
No, Russell Wilson.
I feel like Russ gets painted as the bad guy a lot, but like I don't think he's that bad of a teammate.
Nah.
Dude, all of his teammates have said it.
Yeah,
Not all
they
of them,
have.
only a few of them. And then they didn't say it was really Russ's fault. It was more like how Russ was treated, like the treatment that Russ got.
Yeah, but it's like he expects that now.
That's just some hater shit, though. Like, I
We're
don't know if
talking
he
about a
expects that.
guy
Like,
who they're paying 80 million just to get him out the building.
That's because they brought Russ in the year before. They just brought in their new coach, and they didn't get along. Obviously, like it's not like Russ played a bad season last year. I'm just saying he obviously didn't like Russ. Like number one, he tried him before the season started. He tried him during the season by benching him, and he screamed. Also, he tried him again during the season when he embarrassed him on TV.
That was crazy. I've never seen that.
I haven't really seen that. Like there, guys like chew out their quarterback and stuff. Like I've seen Bill Belichick go to talk to Tom Brady, but like it wasn't like that.
Jacob, you see, you have to look at all angles, all sides of the prism. You feel me? Like I just don't know. I simply do not know. I know the money, it sounds good on paper, yada yada, but like, once that ball is snapped, could be a different story. I don't know.
I mean, Russ would, like, if we signed Russ, we'll probably go to the Super Bowl immediately the first year.
Here we go.
But
like,
the thing is, I'm thinking long term for sure. I'd rather get a young quarterback in there.
You can do both.
Me too.
I do want to talk about the quarterbacks next week. Like the draft next week. I didn't put that in on purpose, but I want to speak on that next week. So
yeah, we'll definitely get into it. But y'all know what the season is. You feel me? Like y'all know what the main sport is that we got to talk about and deliberate on. So
it's March Madness.
We'll just can it about the football stuff. Like it's really irrelevant at this point. Wouldn't you agree?
No, free agency starts on Monday.
Yeah, what?
So you already know.
Last time I checked, it was Saturday, March 9th at 11:21. All right, so not trying to hear it. You feel me? So just, you know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Benjamin Simmons.
About Ben Simmons now.
Dude, I didn't put this slide in so we could just go ahead and, bash the guy. But Ben Simmons ruled out for the remainder of the season with a nerve impingement in his back. Only played 15 games this season for the Brooklyn Nets, 42 games last year, and has missed 2 seasons entirely in his 8-year career. All right, so y'all see the graphic that I have up there. Played 57, missed 189. The Brooklyn Nets have the opportunity to buy him out at the end of the season, I believe. Do y'all think a team is going to pick up Ben Simmons for next year? And I'm obviously he wouldn't be getting paid as much as his crazy deal that he's on right now. I think he's owed 40 mil. I think that's where I got the 40 from. I think he's still owed 40 mil after this season.
Shout out.
Yeah, I believe so. It was a whole contract deal. Somebody could look that up and fact check me, but yeah, I believe 40 mil.
Wow.
Ben Simmons. Any team, y'all think any team's gonna pick him up, or do we believe that his season could be coming to, or not season, but his career could be coming to an end due to his injuries and everything else?
I mean, if I'm a coach or I'm a GM, I'm not touching him. I would never ever do that.
No, I think he could help a team win as a 6-man, but not right now. It's definitely something wrong with him, mentally, physically. You're right. I probably wouldn't touch him right now, but if he gets back in shape, maybe next year, sometime around
If he gets back in shape, he's still not going to play.
What do you mean? He's just
What do
injured.
you mean?
I do think he might be a little injured right now, but
oh god,
obviously it's something.
He is hurt. It's not even.
I mean, he's hurt now. He hasn't been hurt for 189 games.
Yeah, I think he has. I was I don't know. This week I was listening to some show, and his agent got on TV, and they were talking about he blamed himself for what's been going on with Ben Simmons. He said he actually encouraged Ben Simmons when the initial injury happened. He encouraged Ben Simmons to not get surgery. And he said this is why it's dragged out this long, because he never got the surgery. And now his nerves are messed up or something like that. But I think he actually has been hurt. He has nerve damage in his back, which is, that's rough.
Yeah. And I mean, again, we're talking about a guy that was called Baby LeBron. I could hear Ian in the background now, back in the day, he used to rave about Ben Simmons and the Embiid duo, that was supposed to feed families and, ultimately bring a chip to Philly, trusting that process. I personally feel bad. I know Ben Simmons doesn't necessarily say the right things at all times, doesn't necessarily do the right things at all times. But like Julian is saying, I mean, there's obviously something really wrong with him to the point where he can't play. To my question, I personally think this might be the last we see of Ben Simmons. I could see maybe one of these bottom tier teams like a Portland or maybe even that Grizzlies team may want to pick him up or something like that, see what he can do. But I just don't think he's going to have he's never going to be an all-star again, of course.
True.
I just don't know if he's going to have a long career like we had hoped for him. So just unfortunate, honestly. But
I don't think he's done. I don't think he's done.
Yeah, we have to realize what kind of player he is. He's a long, defensive stopper. That's what he was known for. I don't think he's just gonna lose that.
Again,
he played okay this year. He still doesn't score the ball, which is
he played 15 games. You know what I mean?
I saw some games that he did play, and
triple double his first game. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about that, but
he did.
I mean, I'm sure he did. I mean, but again, we're talking about 12, 11, 10 type of game. Not that that's bad or anything like that, but it's just
in the right.
There are a lot of young guns that are coming up. What now?
In the right role on the right team, I think he could help a team win.
But then you have to worry about his head. I'm just being honest. This is all jokes aside. You really have to worry about his head. And again, you pick him up, you pay the dollars, whatever, and let's say he does play the first 15 games of a season, looks promising, you find a role with him, he's ingratiated into your system, whatever. Then, you know, the back flares up, something else happens, and he's gone. Like, it's just, I don't know. I would rather put my faith in one of these young guys coming up. I mean, there's no shortage of talent that will be in the league. I mean, we got guys in the G League that can hoop. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think I could find another Ben Simmons as he is right now. That's just my take. That's me.
Wow. He's 6'10". He's 6'10" and a real like defender.
And can pass.
For sure.
Defender. And
For
ball
sure.
handler. You don't. That
He
just
had high promise.
I'm saying that doesn't come around that often. Like,
He had high promise.
he
But-
did. Like even at his worst, like he had a roster spot.
Yeah, he had a role.
I don't know if that.
At his
Again.
worst, he had a roster spot. Like at worst.
But again, there's many guys that could get a roster spot. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. I get I get the physical characteristics, what have you, but if he's not gonna be on the floor, I mean, come on. Like,
That's fair, but we're saying if he's healthy and they like some team gives him a shot, you don't think he could help a team win? Just say like everything goes right.
played 57, missed
bro.
189,
Whatever.
15 games this year. Last year he played less than half of the season. He's missed 2 complete seasons already. Like, this is a
He's
young
not that
man.
old.
He's not getting younger.
Yeah, but you have to realize like there are a lot of old players that help teams win in their older age in the back of their career. Like
That can shoot the basketball.
no.
They can stretch the floor.
Not
You know what I
true.
mean? You don't just need again, the athleticism will fade. You know what I mean? Especially if this is a guy that's injured, right? The
It's not fading that
is
much
gonna
though.
fade.
Like it's not gonna fade
Yeah.
that much. Like it's not like
You
he's
don't
old.
know
He's
what
not-
he has though.
He's
That's
not
why-
old though. He's not old. Like it's not gonna fade like that much like next year. Like he's not like in a
Again.
wheelchair. Like he can run around.
You're right, like he's
He
Vince
can
Carter or something.
Yeah, like he can still run around and play defense. Like it's not.
Oh, he's not on crutches for real.
No. Like, all right, son,
Yo, I'm telling you, there's no shortage of talent. I can find somebody to play a Ben Simmons role. That's all I'm saying. Shout out Jalen Johnson, by the way. But
I don't understand that one.
injuries,
I don't know.
injuries.
Like Jalen Johnson, I just want to address that.
Wait,
Jalen
just
Johnson
say it.
I actually think Jalen Johnson is a very promising player. But like they don't play the same role though. Like they don't.
They don't.
They don't. No.
What do you mean they don't?
Jalen Johnson is not like a ball handler, and like he's not the defender that Ben Simmons is. That's true.
Jalen
He's not a
Johnson
ball
has been
handler.
one of the best. No. Listen to me though. Listen to me. Jalen Johnson has been one of the best ISO defenders in the league this year. First and foremost, the athleticism is off the charts. He actually can shoot the jumper just a little bit. He has a
He
nice
can
little
shoot it
post
better
in
than
as
Ben,
well.
but he can't
Huh?
dribble and pass like Ben. I'm telling you, there are 2 different players. They're just similar builds. Like
I mean, no, that's not true. I mean, no, he can't. Not if you want to talk about prime Ben, you know, when he was first coming into the league. I mean, he was an all-star. So no, Jalen Johnson's not like that. But could he be? Do they play a similar role?
I don't
Yes.
think so.
Yes, they do. Like, I'm telling you.
I
That's
disagree.
all I'm
I
saying.
didn't watch Ben Simmons. Like it's obvious. Like I can see your.
You just say you want him back. Say you want him back.
I did want him back. I did want him back.
On me, you don't. Anywho, at take 5.
Yeah, you're thorough.
Yeah, at take 5.
Pretty much six, man.
You don't want him back.
I wanted Ben
We
Simmons
were
back this year.
bro,
I'm
we-
glad we're
we
even
didn't
indulging this. He's just
give
petty.
up on him.
Yeah,
We
like,
witnessed
bro,
you give up on
he's
him.
trying
We
to
were in
work on it.
Florida. When we were in Florida, we witnessed you give up on him.
He gave up on
Yeah,
us.
we did.
He gave up on us.
Okay, then. So you gave up on him right back. Like,
But I believe in
I'm trying to
second
act-
chances, you. I believe in second chances. Shout out Nick Foles. I believe in second chances.
No Philly fan believes in second chances. They be booing him when he gets to the arena to this day. So it's just like, what are we talking
I
about?
forgot we cut Nick Foles. Oh snap! Send him back on a chip. Like that happens.
That's football, not basketball.
Shut up.
That's like you're just comparing two completely different things. Like, and Nick Foles was a backup quarterback also. Like,
no, he was not. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback. He was nice.
Bro, I'm talking about Nick Foles was a backup quarterback when you signed him back.
Okay, I'm talking about we could get Ben Simmons on the 6-man role. Like, whoa.
6-man? Ben Simmons is not a 6-man. Like, we have to be realistic. He's not a 6-man. He's not good enough to be a 6-man. The modern day 6-man is tough. They're tough.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
No, dude.
You're ridiculous.
You're not a championship team. Like, let's be for real.
You're ridiculous.
Like, come on.
6-man? You're 6-man.
As in the sense as like he's running the show for our second team, not as in like our 6th best player. Like he's gonna run the show for our second spot. Like that could happen. I take that.
All right.
You okay, bro? Look.
I do. I miss him. Like that was my homie. Like
I promise you're yapping. Like you are yapping, bro. I want to move on though, because injuries are the thing. Right, slide of injured players. We'll double back on Philly in just a second, but the big thing that happened was Karl Anthony Towns torn meniscus, out indefinitely. All right, so there is some hopes that Minnesota, they make a long playoff run. Maybe he's able to come back, but again, we're talking about a big man with injury. So I want to ask y'all. Minnesota, of course, we got to look at the standings for this as well. They are or were at the top of the West. Right now, they're sitting at the 2 spot, a half game back. What does this mean for Minnesota as a team and their playoff chances?
It means they're done.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think they're done, dude. I think I honestly, he's not coming back. It's too late in the season for him to come back from this injury.
Yeah.
Without Cat, I don't think they can. Dude, I think they might have to face the Mavs first round, and the Mavs, I think, are a better team.
Handle them
without what's his name, Cat on the Wolves. They're better.
Number one, we don't know if he's out for the season. He's out for the regular season, probably.
Yes.
We don't know if he's out for the postseason.
Right. Postseason starts right after. What does that even mean?
Not anymore. There's like a little bit of a break, I think, now. I'm serious. There's more of a break than it used to be.
Like what, 4 days?
You gotta play the play-in.
Yeah, it might be because of the play-in. But I'm trying to see.
I mean, we're talking about like a couple days, honestly. I mean, we're not talking about
the break is longer. The break is longer than it usually is. Like, or the playoffs start later than they usually do. Like, actually.
That's fair. But I think this injury is too late in the year. Like, he might come back if they win the first round, but I think they need him first round in the West. Like, the West is deep and tough, and I think he's half their offense.
The playoffs.
Yeah, this is where we'll see. This is where we'll see what Ant-Man's really made of.
Bro, honestly. the regular season doesn't end until April 14th. Then the play-in starts on the 16th of April. The playoffs don't start until the 20th.
Okay. Dude, he is
got a little over a month until the playoffs start.
He's over the month until his first game will be played.
He has like a 6 to 7 week injury, dude. Like, he's not coming back in time.
That would be what? Would that not be 6 weeks?
Probably not.
5.
Dude.
It'd be
5
very close. Like we're saying, I mean, we're hoping, and he has to be reevaluated in like 4 weeks, but we're hoping that he could come back in a second round of the playoffs. That would probably be the most reasonable with this injury.
I mean, okay, if he's out for the first round, they're going to get bounced out. Yeah. Like, what are they, first? They're first right now? Or second?
They're second, half game back from the Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to play, like, all the play-in teams are smoked out. So, like, they have to play who? The Warriors, Lakers.
It'd be the Warriors,
Kings,
Lakers.
And the Mavs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They'll lose to all those teams except for maybe the Kings. I think, the Kings may beat them.
Kings would beat them.
I mean, the Kings may lose to them. But, they're probably done if Cat can't play the first round.
I think, let's talk about this Minnesota team just for a second. We saw it last night a lot. I don't know if you guys watched that game. They played an overtime matchup against Darius Garland and the Donovan Mitchell-less, Evan Mobley-less Cavaliers. Again, winning the overtime. Ant-Man didn't have a great game, coming off a back-to-back. He had a big night against the Pacers. We saw how they struggled to score. Nas Reed really stepped up. I mean, he had a big-time game for the Timberwolves, but ultimately that wasn't really enough without Ant-Man being I guess you could say he wasn't playing at a superstar level that particular night. This is going to put, yeah, I mean, definitely not at the end. I mean, I think he was scoreless in the fourth and in OT, if I'm not mistaken.
He was. Yeah, he was.
It's going to be very difficult for them to score the basketball, but the defense is actually, I mean, they have like the top defense in the league. It's going to be even without Karl Anthony Towns playing big minutes. I mean, he's not the best defender in the world. They're going to strap up. They're definitely going to strap in. So it's just like they get into a grinded out series with these teams and Ant-Man comes to play. They definitely have a chance. I mean, they most certainly have a chance. If we think about Ant-Man last year in the playoffs, I mean, dude was averaging like 30 points or more, I believe, in a series against the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just like, do they have a chance? Most certainly. I think it just comes down to the matchup. We talk about the Kings. I mean, they're a smaller team. I think you get into a grinded out series if you can hold De'Aaron Fox, a little bit. They have the defenders, a lot of length to do it. He has to meet Rudy Gobert in the middle. They could beat. Like when we start talking about the greatness. Yeah, I mean, the Kings, I think they have a great shot, but we start talking about Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. I don't think they're going to be able to overcome Luka in the series. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan. We're going to take their youth and use it against them. Warriors. Hey man, look!
Don't do it, bro.
Well, you look at your screen really quick. Steph Curry, ankle injury, had to leave the game. Okay, I'm sure he'll be recovered and ready to play come playoff time. But what if he has to ramp up? What if he's not like himself? What if they're a bit fatigued through that playing? I'm just saying they haven't been a good team. They haven't been a good team. Like
they've been a good team recently. Recently, they have been.
I mean, okay, like
they've been very good recently.
I guess, but at the end
of
the day,
not even you guess, like factually,
they have a shot. They've been okay.
No, they've been good.
They've
been good.
We're splitting hairs at this point. They've been all right.
Everyone but the Celtics.
Can I speak?
No.
Can I finish my point?
You have to speak some truth.
What's up with you?
Some truth.
Let's be for real. All right, good, whatever. Like they've been an all right team. Like it just is what it is. Now, what I'm saying is they have one guy. If you can keep Curry under 30, things can be in jeopardy.
Why would they keep Curry under 30?
They play great defense. This is the top defense in the league.
Teams have played good defense on Curry before. Why would they keep him under 30?
I'm saying it's possible. Do they have a chance? Absolutely. Absolutely.
But like, you got to think, like, those guys just have so much experience in the Warriors. Like, almost all of those guys have done it before. Like, pretty much everyone is going to be playing except for, like, Podziemski.
That's my same argument that I made for my Lakers. The difference is we have an AD. All right.
Well, they have.
That's all I'm saying.
They have good players, at least. Like
they do.
They have a rounded out roster.
They do, but they're not big. All right. So if they get into a grinded out series in the trenches, it could be tough. It can be. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors would like sweep them, but I do think it would be tough to contain Steph Curry throughout a series. Like throughout a 7-game series,
of course it is.
Like that's tough to bet on.
I mean, of course it is. But do they have a chance? I
No.
believe so. From what I've seen from this team all year, that's what I think. Hey, that's my take. Ooh, excuse me. But we could talk about the Warriors really quick. All right. I got to go standings again. So we just overtook them, my Los Angeles Lakers. All right. So we're a half game ahead of them. They're in the 10th spot currently right now. I don't think they're really in jeopardy of falling out of the play-in. I mean, the next best team is, I guess, the Rockets. And they're, 5.5 games back from them. So, I mean, it's doable, but I mean, it would be very difficult for that. So I don't really think that's going to happen. I want to look at the Warriors schedule as we get into this because, like I said, Curry, he's going to miss at least a few games. All right, coming up. But I believe they have one of the easier schedules
the
to
Spurs,
finish.
The Mavericks, the Lakers, the Knicks, the Grizzlies, the Pacers, the T-Wolves, the Heat.
So, again, pretty sweet. You know, I guess when we start talking about Dallas Lakers, maybe the Knicks can, but that's in the Chase Center. So I
feel bad for the Knicks, honestly.
The Knicks?
Yeah, I feel bad for them. Like they just got so banged up this year. They were good. Like they had a good roster.
It's their coach's fault.
Let me get into the Knicks. I want to start with the Warriors while we're on this subject though. I'll go there next. But this injury to Curry, does that concern y'all in the slightest moving forward?
Ankle injury?
This team?
No.
Ankle injury.
I mean, I feel like it has to concern you knowing Curry's injury history, like with the ankles. Like, you know, he has 2 terrible ankles. So, like, yeah, anytime Curry's ankles get banged up, like, I would say it's at least a cause for concern, but I don't.
But he just does it often at this point.
I mean, yeah, I saw the injury. Like, he was able to walk off. Like, I don't know.
Barely.
Yeah, I mean, he hobbled off. But, like, I feel like he'll be okay in a week. Like, at least to, like, practice.
No, I think it's definitely cause for concern. Like, this late in the year. Like, I know there's a lot of games left. Like, he probably come back sometime in the regular season. But,
I mean, and, yeah, they're jockeying for position, too. So.
Yeah, and they need to get higher in the seeding too. Like these games do matter. I feel like so they're definitely gonna miss him.
Listen, I know how we all feel about Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. So let me preface this by saying I'm not counting them out. All right, but this is a team that I do not believe wants to be in the play-in. They're only 3 spots out from being in the actual playoffs. Okay, it's very, very tight in the West that way. Playing Dallas, the Kings again, who will want that smoke. All right. The Lakers. Are there really any matchups there in that play-in? They have to win 2 games if they're going to be 10th. All right. Is there really 2 favorable matchups in the play-in for the Warriors?
I wouldn't say. Go ahead.
Single elimination.
I wouldn't say it's favorable, but like they have a shot.
They always have a shot, regardless of who it is.
Like I feel like most of those games are toss-ups. Like I don't know who I would favor in any of those games, honestly. Like if we match up with the Kings, that's not good for the Lakers. Like if we saw the Warriors, like yeah, I think that would be a good matchup for us because like just size-wise. But like the
would lose.
The Mavericks, I don't know. The Mavericks, I don't know. Like that would be a good game. It's one game.
Who's stopping him?
Huh?
Who's stopping him?
Who is him?
It's gonna be a shootout.
The Great White. Who's stopping him? Who's gonna guard?
Guard Luka?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I was talking about the Lakers now. I was saying like for anyone in the whole play, and I don't know if there's like super favorable matchups in a 1-game scenario.
I disagree with the sentiment. Not everyone. You know what I mean?
I'm saying everyone. The teams who are currently in it. Like, yeah, as a Lakers fan, I don't want to see the Kings. They beat us.
Okay. I mean, and that's only because of this Sabonis, Anthony Davis nonsense that exists in the world for whatever reason. Like, I can get that, but we start talking about again. I believe the standings are what they are for a reason at this very moment in time. Yes, it is fluid, but I think the Golden State Warriors have the worst team, have the most matchup issues out of anybody, in my opinion. I mean, man.
They also have the worst injuries this year, like out of all those teams. Like
Who?
the Lakers have been the Warriors. Like I'm talking to their best players. Like the Lakers have been pretty healthy to our best players. The Kings have been pretty healthy. Why are you looking like that? And the Mavericks have been pretty healthy. The Warriors have not been healthy. Like number one, Draymond was out for like, what was he out? 20 games?
Bro said injuries, not nonsense, not drama,
I mean,
not suspension. Like,
bro,
what are we
that's what
talking about?
I'm talking
He
about.
did that like,
Bro, I'm not talking like straight up like you're hurt. I'm saying you're not playing.
Anywho, my take stands. I still believe that's the team that's gonna have the most troubling matchups out of anybody. That's just how I feel about it. That's why I'm like, for the Warriors, this is trouble. This is very troubling. And to your sentiment as well, Curry has ankle issues. Like, this is a known thing. Late in the year, fatigue starts setting in. We're talking about he might be out a week. We better hope Wemby's not playing. We better hope Wemby's not playing.
He's not playing, I don't think.
We better not. That's all I'm saying. Move on, though. Because we going to spend a lot of time here. Jalen Brunson's back, though, Julian. Little knee injury. I think he was out a couple games at best. But obviously, we're still missing OG. We're still missing Randall. Don't ask me when they come back because I'm not really sure. Knicks, right in the middle of the pack. Any cause for concern for them, like, moving forward?
Definitely. If they don't like get to play together, I feel like that's going to be tough to win the series. Like, and we don't know who they're going to match up with. Like, yeah, if they finish in the top 3 in the East, then yeah, but I don't think they will. Like, so if you got to go see who, like, the Heat, if you have to see, like, the Heat first round, they're going to get bounced out. Like, they're going to get bounced out. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that, dude. I think their defense is good enough to hold them down. But, dude, like, let's be real for a minute. If they're fully healthy by the time they get there, they have all the pieces to compete with a lot of teams in the East. Do they not?
They have the pieces to beat the bottom teams in the East. I agree.
Okay,
but I'm talking about the top teams in the East, and that's why it's cause for concern.
They're not going to
okay, we have the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Cavs, who are probably going to be top 3 in the East. Like, that's probably how it's going to finish. So that means you're going to have to go see probably, like, I don't know where it stands right now. It's probably going to be a team like the Heat in the first round, that's rough. Like, if you're in that 4 or 5 spot, that's not good.
They're better than the Heat, though. Like, we have to realize that. What's so confusing?
In the playoffs?
Stop saying the playoffs. This is this Knicks team right now wasn't in the playoffs last year. This is true. They're better than they were last year.
That's true for every team in the league.
Okay, so what are you talking about? Some playoffs? Are they better than the playoffs? We haven't seen it yet.
But I think
what are you confused about?
We're gonna act like we can't project what happens. Like, that's
how many games did it go last year? 6?
I don't know. They got
went 6. And I'm not even gonna hold you. I mean, Jimmy Butler rolled his ankle in the series as well. So it's just like, Jacob, you got anything about the Knicks real quick?
No, I never had any expectations for them. So
okay, I think Julian had a great take because it was my take. You know, we're talking about a team that simply just hasn't really played together that much. I mean, they haven't. I mean, it looked good when they had OG in there for a spell, you know what I mean? But you got to develop those reps. You got to have that type of chemistry on the floor, especially when it comes playoff time. And if we do talk about a team like the Heat, that's a team that exploits you. I mean, they will find your weakness and exploit it. And the Heat, they've been playing solid basketball. I think they had a tough road trip. I think they lost to the Mavs and the Thunder. But the Heat, they look good. I mean, they definitely look good. So
Imagine
Jimmy
seeing
Butler
Jimmy.
and
No, it's a tough
Exactly.
matchup for
And you
sure.
have to see Jimmy and Spoelstra in the first round after not playing together all season.
That's thorough,
Like,
yeah.
like Randall, I don't think Randall and them have even played together. Randall, OG, and Brunson, have they played a game together?
I don't think so. Not
Yeah,
all three.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
know
It's like that's
Brunson
not
and OG.
working. Yeah, that's not going to work. If your three best players haven't played together, like how do you expect them to gel versus a team who like is built for the playoffs like the Heat, and they're gelling right now. Like,
Well, OG
I'd say 4. I mean, I think Mitchell Robinson still has to come back as
oh
well.
yeah,
That's
he's
the
out too.
starting
I
big.
forgot about him. Yeah,
I mean, dude, I think these players, like, it's pretty easy to mesh well.
no, it's not. Stop that. No,
OG
it's
is
not.
just a corner 3 player who plays very good defense. That's not. You don't need to really. That's true. You don't really need chemistry for that. He's a corner 3 player. Like, that's true. And then on defense, like, you do you really need like reps like all season? Just to
Yes, of course you need reps. What are you talking about? Especially on defense.
bro.
Yeah,
what are you
team
talking
defense, communication, like absolutely. You most certainly
no.
do.
I don't think so. And they're adding and they're gonna add Mitchell Robinson back. Like that's a like
What are you talking about? Of course, that's where you need reps the most. Like where you're going to be communicating. Like, have you not seen teams try to play defense where they have no communication? They look like complete idiots.
That's true, but that's not most defenses aren't as talented as this defense right here. That's true.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is one of the best. This is probably top 3 defense in the league when they're all healthy.
They're going to be playing versus a great defense too, probably.
And that playoffs is just a different game. I'm sorry. Last thing I want to get into on this slide, because we really got to keep it moving. I did want to mention, of course, Ian and his 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, couple games back, suffered a concussion. So they're out. I mean, they're down with their 2 quote unquote stars, of course, catapulting them deep into the play-in. 13 and a half games back. The Pacers are right on their tail, 14 games back. I was just mentioning before we got on the show. I mean, you look at the Hawks. You look at the Hawks. I mean, we're only 6 games back from the likes of the Sixers. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's a possibility the Sixers don't make the playoffs. No, listen to me though. It's a possibility the Sixers don't make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. It's not set in stone. They may not even make the play-in.
I don't think Joel's gonna let that happen. I think he would rush back before we miss the playoffs.
Really rush back.
You shouldn't want that. Like you really should not want that.
I don't want that, but I think Tyrese Maxey will be back after his concussion and help us win some games. Like I don't think we need to go undefeated the rest of the way. I think we go 500 and get Joel back. We'll be straight in the play-in. Maybe
your goal should be like near 500. Like you should want to shoot for like a little bit under 500 to be realistic.
3-7 in the last 10.
Y'all are bad.
I said that. I said like
taking losses.
You should be shooting for 500 though. Like expect to be like 5 games at least under 500. I feel like y'all are not good.
Dude, we haven't had Maxey the last 3 games. That's the only reason we've been losing games. Like we should have won these games.
Drew, let me run this by you. The Knicks back-to-back in Madison Square Garden.
2L.
The Milwaukee Bucks in Pfizer Forum. Charlotte Hornets at home.
Okay, that's one.
Miami Heat. Phoenix Suns. LA Lakers, excuse me. Then the Clippers. Then the Sacramento Kings, then the Clippers again.
God dang.
Then Cleveland on the road.
We beat Cleveland twice already. They're bad.
So you're not going to beat them again if we're just like expecting things to bounce out.
Yeah, I think we'll have the road back.
That's 10 losses.
Into that.
That's 10 losses though.
But you see what I'm saying? The Hawks are only 6 games back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like at best, y'all are going like what was that? 11 games. At best, they'll go 3. At best, they'll go 3.
Y'all are ridiculous. You have to realize the back end of those games, Joel might be back.
No, I don't think not then, right?
They said the end of March.
This is where I ended would put y'all at March 29th, about the end of the month.
Yeah, so no.
That's where I stopped.
What do you mean no?
Isn't that when he's getting reevaluated? Like when he's starting to like. Huh?
That's when that was his date to come back, the end of March, like the
How
last
can you
week of
set a
March.
date for someone to come back?
What do
It's
you
usually
mean?
like arranged or like you're getting reevaluated this day.
He's already been
Definitely
here.
reevaluated into March. Like, let's
Bro,
keep it a bean.
He's been hurt before the All-Star break. We have to realize he's been hurt for a minute now.
Okay, but anyways, 3-8. That's like your best bet. 3-8.
You believe that? Okay, that's fine. People
You got
like we lost Joel.
I'm just saying you have to think about like what it means to the teams that you're playing. Like those teams are also playing for playoff position too. Like the Cavs are going to be playing hard. I don't know what Donovan Mitchell would be back by then. Like he may be.
Should be.
Yeah, the Cavs will be playing hard. Obviously, everyone that you play in the West is going to be playing hard because they're all fighting for that position, trying to stay out of the play-in. Or
That's
cool.
cool.
What do you mean? That's cool. Your team sucks though,
dude. You keep saying that, but I think Maxey and Joel will be back for half of those.
Yeah, if you get Joel, you don't think that Joel's coming back for half those games.
Well, I think he should be back by like March, the first or the last week of March 22nd.
Didn't Morgan just say he stopped at March 29th?
I did.
Yeah.
All right, so no. What are you saying? Hey, move on. Like
it's definitely major for him.
If we can get 3 wins without Joel, then I think with Joel we can get those last couple of games in.
You just went 3-8 though. It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good at all. I would keep it, but again, I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. I'm definitely gonna keep a close eye on it.
Stand there.
We took a lot of time. I'd say 5 pot. All right, so obviously we got to talk about the Denver Nuggets. All right, so they beat the Celtics the other day in Denver. Was a great game for them. Definitely a powerhouse matchup of two of the top teams. The Celtics have been boasted as the best team in basketball, but Denver Nuggets have something to say about that. They're 1 game behind the top spot in the West. I want to ask y'all, what did that game mean for the Denver Nuggets?
It meant a lot, in my opinion. Like it was just about like setting the tone for like what may be a potential finals matchup. Like I'm pretty sure they went into the Celtics crib last time they played.
They did.
They beat them, and that was also when the Celtics were winning all of those games. Like I'm pretty sure the Celtics were undefeated at home at that point. Denver went into Boston and beat them. Then they bring it back home and beat them again. Like it's like it's a psychological thing, I feel like, for them now. Like, how do the Celtics feel if they match up with them in the finals? Like, do they think they can beat them? Like, that's my question.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets definitely showed that they're probably the best team in the league, like without a doubt. Because like people were talking about like the Celtics and like Jason Tatum's the best player on the best team. I mean, like probably just for the record, but like Jokic is the best player on the best team, like realistically.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
So like I think they definitely showed that. Even like Aaron Gordon played well. Like everyone was playing well, and like over these last like few games since the All-Star game, like the whole team has just been playing well. So I think they're going into the playoffs hot. Like it's definitely scary.
They're not going back to back though.
Who's beating them in the West?
Anybody can beat them.
Only one team in the West that can beat them, really, in my opinion, is the Clippers. Like I don't see any other team. Maybe going 6 with like the Lakers, maybe 7, but like anyone else.
I don't. As Lakers fan, we should hope that we don't have to see Denver in the playoffs. Like I'll be real. Like just matchup wise, like psychologically, like I was just talking about. Like I don't want to see Denver. We can't beat them. They beat us like 11 times last time. Like. Yeah, they've beat us many times in a row. Regular season, they swept us again in the regular season. Like it's not a good look. It's really not. But the Clippers, yeah, if the Clippers match up with them, they have a shot.
The Warriors can beat them.
I was talking to my friend last night. He said the Warriors will not beat the Nuggets. You're crazy.
They
But I was
definitely
talking to
can.
my friend last night. He was saying the Suns actually would have a good shot
Yeah, the
because of
Suns.
how explosive they are offensively, and like the big man, what's his face, Nurkic.
The Thunder.
No,
Yeah, Thunder. Have a shot.
Bro, I'm about to get off this podcast, bro. What?
no, yeah, not the Thunder.
The Thunder?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is getting clipped too.
Bro, what's wrong with you?
Bro,
Let me
the
just
Nuggets are
say
not
before
losing
we
to the
get to that,
Thunder.
Julian, I think again, if the Suns can ever put the thing together, fully together, with all three parts moving in unison for one common goal, I mean, they gave them 6 with just KD and Book, if I'm not mistaken, last year. I mean, it was
Yeah, they
it
did.
was a good matchup. Obviously, we saw them just play. Nurkic gave Jokic some problems. I mean, we're talking about the Bosnian beast, true 7-footer with actual girth pause. So it's just like, they have some match. They can match up at least, right? Can they guard? That's a different story.
Yeah.
Lakers, big Lakers fan. And it pains me to even side with a dude like Julian, because Julian's not made out of the same stuff, the same material. You know what I'm saying? We're not cut from the same cloth when it comes to this type of thing. But I mean, we haven't beat the Nuggets. We got swept. Like, that's just what it is. We haven't found a way to beat them. And I have a theory for how I believe you could beat a Jokic. I haven't really seen it put into action. I was hoping to see it from the Celtics, but then I remembered who was coaching them. It's just unfortunate. Ian mentioned the best player on the best team. All right. Is Jokic the MVP of the league this year?
Yes.
Probably.
He definitely is. There's actually no case for him not being it.
It's not definite. Like, okay, if Shea wins the Western Conference in the regular season, like, why wouldn't he get it?
Julian, who's better right now, the Thunder or the Nuggets?
I'm talking, bro. Nobody cares about the eye test, though.
Answer the question.
People don't care when we're talking about things like.
Answer the question.
When we're talking
You
about
answer the question.
Bro, I know the Nuggets are better, but when we're talking about things like the MVP, the actual things that are on paper matter. Like, yeah, we can see that they would beat them, but it doesn't matter.
But let me add this though: they're only one game, or they're a half game behind. No. They are 1 game behind the Thunder. Like, let's say the season ends today. I mean, we can't really just say, they're at the top. They're like, it's a game. Like,
it's not like he had a mid-season though. Like, say he averaged 30 points a game on great efficiency. So, like, he would have an obvious case if he won the conference over Joker, who also had a historical season. Like, he would have a case for being the MVP. And Giannis has a case too. Giannis is just in the East is the only thing like that brings him down. But Giannis also last night, if you heard on the broadcast, he's averaging 30-something points on 60% field goal percentage. Like, that's a historic season. Like, all of those guys have a case.
Okay, but if we just look at the teams and we just look how they've been playing this year, like, we can just sit in here and just be honest. The Bucks haven't played to their potential pretty much all year.
I understand that.
The Thunder, like, they're good and all, but we all know that they're not better than the Nuggets. Like, as a team,
it doesn't matter what we know. How it actually finishes matters when we're talking about things like the MVP.
Bro, you're talking about.
Are you talking about 26? I'm looking at 26, 9, and 12 for Jokic on the year. We know what the efficiency is like.
What's Shea averaging, like 31, 32?
Yeah, I think he's averaging something like 31, 5, and 5, if I'm not mistaken, but I could check.
Yeah, like, we can't act.
He's also leading in steals.
He's having a great season. I don't think he's a top 5 player like people are saying, but like, yeah, he's having a great season.
I just think like MVP should go to like the best player on like not the best team, but like the team that has like a best chance of winning, in my opinion.
But my thing is this.
You see what I'm saying? That's BS.
It is BS, and that hasn't held to be true in previous years. I mean, you're talking to a Russell Westbrook fan. You're talking to a Russell Westbrook fan. When he won MVP, they're nowhere near being the top team
Okay,
in the West.
that's fair. Okay, maybe in like the voters' eyes, but in my opinion, I didn't think Russ should have won MVP that year. Like I'm saying in what I think.
And who
In
did you
my
think should have
opinion.
won? Because that
James
person wasn't
Harden.
top. Was he number one in the West?
He was dang near one of the top teams in the West. Is Jokic number one in the West?
No. He wasn't one. He was like 4 or 5, actually.
Bro, stop. No, I don't even think that's true.
He was a middle pack team because
That
they
can't be
saw
true.
Westbrook. I know they saw Westbrook first round, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, then. You think Russ was up
Probably
there?
like 3 or 4.
It was
maybe.
third. I think it was 3rd and 6.
Yeah, like 3. Yeah,
Or maybe
that sounds
maybe
right.
2 and 7.
And in my opinion, I think the Rockets were probably one of the best teams that year. Like they were up there.
But you see what I'm saying? Like you can't determine it off of like I think this team's gonna win. Like that's you can't determine the word off that.
About that they're better.
You just said that though. You just said I think this team's better, and yet they had a worse record.
But you don't think they're better?
I personally think they're better. I'm saying that doesn't matter for the MVP.
That's the thing.
I'm saying it doesn't matter for the MVP. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about like in past MVPs. I'm talking about in my opinion, what I think. This is what could happen.
It should just be the best player then. If we're talking about MVP, it should be the best player. The best player.
Yeah, and if that holds to be true, there's really not a world where, in my eyes, unless for some reason the Denver Nuggets fall off, if they ended like 4th in the West or 5th or something like that, maybe. But there's no world in where they end the season maybe 2nd to the Thunder or something like that. With how Jokic is playing, that you could definitively say Shea deserves an MVP trophy over him. I don't think we could go that far. I'm rooting for Shea, but I don't know if we could go that far. That'd be kind of wild. That'd be kind of wild. I have a few more questions. I know we got some more slides, but what does dominance in basketball mean to you all? If Jokic were to win an MVP here, that would be 3 for him, right? Is that considered dominance?
I don't care about MVPs in terms of dominance. That doesn't even matter to me. Like MVP, y'all know how I feel. Like the accolades and all of that stuff, like which are a lot of times are pushed by like media narratives and things like that. I don't care. Like dominance is determined by if you're actually like a force in the league. Like I honestly feel like it's intangible. Like it's not all about like if you're winning like a 3-peat like Michael Jordan, or like if you're going to 8 straight finals like LeBron or however many he went to. But like I don't know, it's hard to determine, but I don't think that MVPs are what makes you like a dominant force. Like I don't care about that.
3 MVPs don't make you a dominant force?
You're of course no, Joker is dominant, but I don't think it's because of the MVPs.
But 3. I'm not even talking about like 1. 3.
Julian, I almost liked you today. I did. I was almost with you today. Then you went off the deep end with the intangible nonsense. Like, but how about you? What does dominance mean to you?
I kind of agree with Julian, but I do think if you win a certain amount of awards, if you keep winning these awards with people in the league, or like there are people in the league like KD, Curry, like Kawhi, like LeBron, they're playing full seasons right now, like, and they're not in competition with Jokic. Like we're seeing people like with
old
like
man.
We're seeing people like Tatum and Shai. Like I don't think these people really have a chance. So like in my opinion, Jokic is really dominating the league.
He is, but not because he's winning the MVPs. That's what I'm saying.
But there's no one really close to him, really.
In terms of what?
MVP.
I don't care about that. That's what I'm trying to tell you, though. Like that doesn't matter.
It does
what
matter.
Matters is how he's dominating the game. That's what matters. You watch Joker play, and you're at his mercy. Like that's what makes you a dominant force in the NBA. Like when you go play a game, and they can't do anything with you. Like for some years now, we've seen Joker play. No one can do anything with him. Like they can't do anything. Like you cannot stop him. Like he can maybe stop himself if he has a bad shooting night, or it's even hard for that because he's so dominant. Like when have we seen Joker get stopped? Like the bubble was the last time, like literally, and it's now 2024.
Let me say this. I think there's been some good maybe even great points that have been made here. But my thing to end is that I don't even believe you think Jokic is the MVP. We just had to change the CBA rules to determine what makes end of season awards. So when Julian is saying, these accolades or whatever, and the media narratives that follow them, he has a point, But to me, where I disagree with Julian, is where the chips come into play. That's winning. You know what I mean? That's when nobody can do it. No, listen to me though. That's when nobody can do anything with you. So when we do talk about Mike's three-peat, when we do talk about LeBron James going to 8 finals or whatever it was, when we do talk about Shaq, almost three-peating or whatever like that, to me, that is total dominance. Dominance on the floor. Obviously, there's no, you know how I feel. There's no big 7-footers that are finna step in front of Jokic. That's just how I feel about it. But if he's gonna come back, win 3 MVPs, and then couple that with multiple chips over a span of however many years, that's when we start talking about dominance. That's just me.
That's factual. I was saying that too. Like, yeah. He's literally dominant, not because of the MVP.
I rock with you, this
dude. But we have to realize who he's winning these MVPs over, dude. He's winning MVPs over Joel, who's led the league in scoring 3 years in a row.
But you'd say Joel would win MVP this year.
It doesn't matter what I
changed the rules.
It doesn't matter what I say.
It does matter.
Yes, that does matter.
It's context.
That's what I'm telling you.
Last year, everyone was saying Jokic was the real MVP. That was a real thing. That happened.
Listen, we were saying that Joker was the best player.
No,
if that's your metric for being the MVP, I don't think Joker should have won the MVP last year based on how MVPs have been determined. Like if we're taking into account like in the past how MVPs have been determined, I think that Joel absolutely deserved the MVP last year.
How?
What do you mean?
Based off what? What did
season?
I'm confused why Joel won it last year and why he didn't win it the year before. What was different?
I mean, there was also a bit of like voter fatigue, probably like that was at play. But like,
okay,
yeah. So and there was moments though that mattered. Like Joel at the end of the season played Joker and dominated him. So like that it was at the end of the season though, and that catapulted him to win the award.
And when we talk about Embiid scoring, you know what I mean? Like that definitely came to play as well. I mean, he had some very big scoring performances last year. And I mean, again, like we talk about this year, right? Did he drop 70? Wasn't it 70 this year? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if he were to play the amount of games, for their rules or whatever, Embiid would have got our vote. I mean, he would have led the league in scoring. He would have had probably 12 rebounds himself. And you know how I feel about playing defense, being an anchor to your defense. And the Sixers would have been second team in the East, most likely, or at least the top of the East. So it's just like he would have had our vote. That's just context.
That's true. But at the end of the day, there's still people, and there are a lot of people who still think Jokic is better. So like it's just like
Jokic is better. He's better. Okay. That doesn't mean that you're going to win the award, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I don't think that MVPs matter when we're talking about if you're a dominant or not.
Yeah, it shouldn't validate your dominance, but winning 3 over a span of 4 years, it matters. Especially when the year he didn't win it, people think he should have won it.
That's true for everything.
I mean, that should have, could have, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that holds no weight. Like in the same way we're saying he's about to win 3. Like, I'm saying Embiid, like be a shoulda, coulda, woulda there. Like he didn't win. He won't win. Is what it is. We got to keep going though. We taking a lot of time. I'd say 5. Drew, what we got here, man?
I just wanted to address like the things that have been happening on social media in the last few days. Like if you look at the graphic on the left, you can just look at the difference between, what's going on right now in 2024 and what was going on 10, 11 years ago with LeBron James, who was at his peak, obviously, when he was on the Heat. I feel like these narratives are just nasty. And we have to stop as sports fans, and this is true for all sports, we have to stop as sports fans, like, comparing the different eras because they're playing different games. Like, I've got on here and spoke about this many times before. Like we really have to stop this. Like the game itself is much different. Like yes, the players are different. Some players would be successful, some wouldn't. I agree. But in my opinion, the best players from even 80s, the best players from 80s on would be able to adapt to the current day game. Like I absolutely believe that. I don't like you're not going to sit here. I've went back, watched Magic Johnson play. I went back, watched Larry Bird play. Those guys, you're not telling me that those guys wouldn't be able to play basketball today and be successful. I don't agree. Like, yes, they played a different game. Excuse me. Larry Bird is a great shooter. He didn't pull 7 threes a game like Grayson Allen does. Like, if the stats will reflect, Grayson Allen would be a better shooter than Larry Bird. Like, they're playing 2 completely different games of basketball. So how can we sit here and compare them as players? Like, that's what I don't understand when we're having these conversations. And like, you know, in the recent days, we've been saying we're done with the 80s. We're done with the 90s. Acting like these players are garbage. Yesterday, I had 50 notifications on my TikTok because I commented saying, you know, there was guys like Kobe, Allen Iverson who played between the 2 eras, who bridged the gap between the eras, and they both had success in both eras. Like, I don't understand it. Like, how are we going to sit here and say Michael Jordan wouldn't have success now when there was guys who came after Michael Jordan who were worse players than him? Like, I say Kobe's, we know how I feel about Kobe, so I won't even get into that. But like, they were as good as Michael Jordan, and they had success in later eras. I don't understand it. But yeah, that's really all I got.
I mean, is it fair to say though that Shai's having like a comparable season to LeBron though?
No.
But you were
Like,
okay. I'm just asking a question.
The answer is no.
Okay. Let me ask another question. You were talking about Shai should win MVP, or he has a case to win MVP over the best player in the league. You just said that 5 minutes ago.
What does that matter to what I'm talking about right now?
So why can't they compare the seasons if he's having a better Julian?
Because they're playing different games. Like I just told you, I just sat here for 2 minutes and explained to you how they're playing 2 different games 10 years later.
I understand that, Julian, but you're not listening to me. Shai is going to win. You said Shai has a very good case to win MVP.
I said he has a case along with Joker and Giannis. That's what I said.
Okay, these are all-time players. These are Hall of Famers. These are champion.
I agree. They're great players.
These are,
I agree.
So how is?
Never did I say he was garbage. That's not what I do. Yeah, I don't sit here and say these new guys are garbage. I don't do that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but we're comparing Shai to these guys, right? We're literally comparing Shai to Jokic. We're comparing Shai to
modern day. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair and all.
They're playing in the same season.
That's fair and all. But we also compare. You don't think it's fair to compare Giannis and LeBron?
When?
Oh, LeBron.
No, I just told you they're playing 2 different games.
I understand that, but it doesn't matter.
It matters greatly.
Why should it matter if they're dude,
the game is completely different.
It's really not, dude. This is
yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. It's much different. It's much different. Dude, there's been many things that have been introduced since then. Dude, it's much different.
Giannis plays the same game as old players. Dude, he doesn't shoot many threes. This is true. Giannis plays inside the paint.
No, he doesn't.
Giannis doesn't play inside the paint.
Of course he does. Of course he plays inside the paint. He's a slasher. He's basically a big. Yes, he plays inside the paint.
Was LeBron jacking up threes back then? I'm confused.
Are you comparing the play styles of LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Dude, we could even do this with Shai. Shai doesn't even shoot that many threes.
Yeah, Shai doesn't shoot threes. I understand that.
So I don't understand what.
Ian, there's many things that contribute to the game being different, such as spacing.
No, you can't compare the 80s and nowadays, but this is 2013, dude. And this is
you can't compare the 2010s and now. I'm telling you can't.
With certain
players, yesterday, when I commented on the TikTok about Kobe, right? I commented about Kobe and Allen Iverson. The new kids today told me that Kobe was worse than the guys right now, and that Allen Iverson was worse than the guys.
Why were they saying
that? They told me that Kobe was worse than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm telling you, it's because they played a completely different game.
And why were they saying that though? They were saying that because of efficiency.
They were saying that because of the numbers. Yes, because of the numbers and the efficiency. And I'm telling you, there's many things that contribute to the game being different now.
Like shots per game, right?
What?
Like shots per game and
Sure, that's all a factor. But I'm saying the game is way different. Pace and space. Why are you looking like that? Pace and space. The way defense is played. What's it called?
The referees
Analytics.
and what they call. They look for different
analytics.
things nowadays.
Just the way people play the game is much different. The approach to the game is very different. Yes, it is. I'm telling you, it is.
But look at LeBron. How much you want to bet LeBron probably shot more threes than Shai does right now?
I don't care about that. I'm not saying
what
that.
Do you mean?
That's
you
not what I'm saying.
about that?
I'm telling you that the game is played differently.
What?
The game is played differently.
Actually, LeBron's a great example. I mean, if you think about the threes that he attempts today, I know his athleticism is different, but the threes that he attempts today versus the ones he did, years ago, it's completely different.
It is.
LeBron's a guy that's played in multiple eras. Like,
that's fair.
I'm sure he would tell you, like, the physicality, like Julian's talking about, the pace, the spacing. Now you have 5 guys that can shoot at all times. You know what I mean? I was listening
to
a
different game.
Dude, stop it, dude. I agree. I agree. It's a lot. It's different, but with some players, you can literally compare the stats, dude. This dude Shai, he can't
without context.
Man, you are a fool, bro. No, you can't, bro. All right. I went back when I was arguing with these little kids. Okay, they're telling me Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is better than Kobe Bryant in his prime. That killed me.
Dude,
to my
Kobe Bryant's prime was not 2013. It wasn't near
2013. It was like it was around then though. That was the end of his prime. Yeah, he was still in his prime. Yeah, he was.
Okay, but the game had changed. The game had changed when he went out of his prime. Like that, it's totally different from LeBron James on the Miami Heat, dude. This is the end of Miami Heat. He's dang near on the Cavs in a year or two.
No,
like
Kobe was still like that at this point, though. Is the thing. Like,
who?
Kobe was still like that at this point.
Why are you saying anyways? You're a fool, bro.
Dude, the point I'm trying to make is I don't think Shai was taking. He's not taking many threes.
It's not about the 3-point attempts. I'm telling you that the way the game is played is different.
It's much different in 2013. You want me to show you the stats? There's probably more threes.
It's not. Yeah, the stats will fool you. You have to use context with looking and comparing stats. If we just looked at stats, then again, Shai is like a top 5 player of all time at this point. You know what I'm saying? And we know that that's not true. It is. Dude, we're just looking at the numbers. He's averaging 31 off that efficiency. Dude. Okay. If I go back and look at many different players, they're not doing that same thing. They're not.
Dude, that's fair and all, but he doesn't shoot the amount of threes that the modern day player who averages 30 does. Like, that's true and all. And stop talking about pace and stuff because it's different. It's not much different from 2013.
Okay, Ian. Example for you. I have a picture in my room, okay, in here, of the year that we beat the Celtics in the championship.
Since 2008?
That was 2010.
Okay.
The year we beat the Celtics, okay? Last championship. The final score of that game was something like upper 80s. It ended there. That was an NBA Finals game. That was the 2 best teams in the league played. Why are you shaking your head? The game ended in the 80s in. The game is, I'm telling you, the game is not comparable to the game that's played now. Dude. And I don't think it's because the players are better. Dude. No, I don't think that at all.
Dude,
I think that the game is played in a way different way. The way that coaches are approaching the game is different. The way analytics have impacted the game is crazy. Like, I'm telling you, bro. And it's not like
maybe from the 2010s, but after like 2013,
you think there was a big jump from 2010 to 13?
I mean, around when Curry entered the league, like
Curry was in the league, and
Curry. So let's look at it right here. So game 7. Yeah, let's look at 2 things. So game 7, Boston Celtics, LA Lakers. The game ended 83-79. Game 6, it ended 89-67. Game 5, 92-86. Do I need to go on? Or do
you know, anyone who watched this, Hawks, if you witness the game then and now, you can see how it's completely different. Like,
the Hawks have finished the game with damn near 150 points scored. 300 in total versus the Pacers.
The Hawks suck. No disrespect. They suck.
That's fair and all. I said it's hard to compare some players and some errors. But
it's hard to compare eras. It's foolish to compare eras at all because the game is played completely different.
Yes, I agree. But I'm saying in some instances, like
this graphic, the graphic that we have on the screen right now is a great example of why you can't do that. You cannot compare eras. They're playing 10 years apart, bro. LeBron has been in the league this whole time, right? He's been in the league this whole time. We've seen him play. We've seen him improve. We've seen him start stepping out, taking more threes. We've seen him change the way he approaches the game. Is he better now than then? I don't think so.
But Julian, let's just ask him this question, and we'll leave it here. Is Shea today better than LeBron James was in 2013?
I told you he wasn't. I literally started with that.
Then the stats clearly don't matter. Then the stats clearly are wrong.
I asked a question. I didn't say I agree.
Bro, so why did you ask that dumbass question? Why did you ask that question?
I just wanted to understand what you were thinking. I wanted to see how far.
You know what I was thinking.
Okay, I was trying to get the other side like that.
Hey, Joe, what about this second panel? Then I would just end it off after this because we going well over. But
Ian's blowing me, bro. I cannot stand talking sports with Ian. God, but anyway, piss me off. But anyway,
it gets wild.
Just look at this graphic on the right. It brings me back to a take I had maybe a few weeks ago. And I was asking y'all, like, if y'all think the way that Luka approaches the game will translate to success in terms of winning. And then, we see, like, what Chandler Parsons says about being a teammate of Luka. And, I just wanted to, like, hear y'all's opinions on that.
You can go.
Yeah. Would you like to?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird coming from a role player. Like, he probably just doesn't understand what Luka has to go through. If we're looking at it from Luka's eyes, like, it's cool. Like, he has Kyrie, like, as his Robin, like, that's cool and all, but like,
it's cool.
Like, yeah, that's so cool. But like, everyone has. Let's be real. Every star has a very elite co-star. Everyone
it's cool. Kyrie's cool.
Dude,
okay.
If we're gonna be
honest, he followed it up with every star has an elite co-star.
That's crazy. It's Kyrie's not. Kawhi has Kyrie not elite.
LeBron has an elite co-star. What are we talking about? KD has an elite co-star. Like, everyone has an elite co-star.
Are those guys levels above Kyrie?
Oh gosh. Anyways, the next thing I'm gonna say is after Kyrie, like, he's got role players. Like, it's cool and all. Like, he's got Kyrie, but he has role players after that, and just role players. What is he supposed to do? Like, he has.
What is he supposed to have? I want to know from you. What is he supposed to have?
I guess he's supposed to have.
What?
Dude,
what is he supposed to have?
In my opinion, I think he doesn't have. I think he has the worst roster out of the contending teams in the West. He does.
The worst roster.
He does. Who has a better roster that's continuing in the West than the Mavs?
I'm just curious though, because I feel like I'd get a variant answer for this. Like, who's better right now today? Kyrie Irving or Jamal Murray?
I would take Kyrie Irving.
So what are you talking about then?
But that's different. Jokic has a team that fits him to his needs, like, very, very good. Like, we can all agree, like, their GM did very well. They even have a great bench. Like, let's not be dense. Like, the Nuggets have a very fine team, like a very elite team. The Mavs, in the other case, they have what's his name, Josh Green, as one of their key players, bro. Like,
do the Mavs not have a very well rounded out roster?
Hey, I said that he has key role players, dude. That's cool and all. Like, he has Kyrie.
That's what you need. So
but
you have all right. You have a superstar. You have a superstar, a co-star, and then you have good role players.
Dude, but it doesn't matter because compared to the rest of the West, They're not good. Let's not be weird. After
Those
Kyrie,
role players are not good.
After Kyrie, name me the next best player.
I didn't even know. It would be hard
Exactly.
to
You
because
don't
there's
know.
plenty. I'm
You
saying
don't
it's hard
know.
to determine because there's plenty of good players.
Steph Curry, maybe?
No.
Hardaway.
He's not even on the team. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Hardaway. Yeah, he hasn't watched it. He hasn't watched
No,
it.
Steph is on the team.
he can't. No, he's not. He's in Charlotte, bro.
Is he? Oh, they got rid
yes.
of him?
Hardaway.
He came back. Yeah, they did get rid of him. But
Hardaway, PJ, Washington, and Gafford are all good. Kleber's a good piece.
Gafford.
Like they have Gafford is a good piece.
But when we're comparing teams like the Nuggets, they got Aaron Gordon, MPJ. Like these are not even their second best player or third best player.
You know why Aaron Gordon is good? Like because like he plays with Joker.
Whoa! Aaron Gordon was the number 2.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
Aaron Gordon was a good player on the
Magic. But okay. He was a good player, but he was on the Magic.
Yeah.
PJ Washington was a good player too.
He was a 1 or anything, but like
PJ Washington was also a good player on the what's it called? On the Hornets.
Okay, let's stop this, dude. The point is Luka doesn't have the team I think he should. He has a good team. He has a solid team. I don't think it's enough to compete in the West, especially after, dude. In my opinion, I don't think Kyrie's the best co-star in the West. That's true. He's
the best co-star in the West. Like
he needs to if the rest of the roster isn't good enough.
The rest of the roster is good. They have a good rest of the roster.
Solid. It's not good compared to the Clippers. Like let's just be real.
I mean, the Clippers have the best roster. Like if you're comparing,
it's not close to the Nuggets. I could
finals.
I could argue the Lakers have a better roster, especially because they have a better top 2.
I feel like you win it though. Like hearing what you've been saying about the Lakers all year, like that doesn't even sound right.
What? I think KD and LeBron is better than Kyrie and Luka. First of all, so that gets that out of the way.
Like that's fine, but like then look at the rest of the roster and like coming from you, it would surprise me to hear you say that.
Dude, Austin Reeves would be the clear third best player on that team. Dude, D'Lo would probably fight for a position on that.
Okay.
He'd be fighting for a position.
Fighting for a position for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I think again.
I struck a nerve.
My only issue is that on one hand we hold Luka to rarefied air. He's this top, obviously he's going to be top in MVP voting, top 4, if you will. To hear you tell it, I'm sure he's a top 5 talent in the league, right? I hope I'm not putting words into your mouth. Then you take NBA champion Kyrie Irving, best handle of all time, one of the most efficient scorers that the game has to offer. And he's actually playing the most games he's played since, I believe, 2018 right now. Playing very good basketball, putting up 26 a night, excuse me. Then deadline comes. You obviously need some more size around the edges. You need some more defense. You pick up Daniel Gafford, who is a very athletic big. He can anchor the rim a little bit. PJ Washington can shoot the 3 a little bit, guard multiple positions, multiple forwards, what have you. I mean, you have Tim Hardaway Jr., 6-man, top of the 6-man voting. It's just like to say they don't have a team, I believe is doing these men a great disservice.
I never
We're
said
understating them.
I said it was a solid team. I said compared to the West, the rest of the West, like the Clippers, like the Nuggets, the teams they would have to beat to get to the finals, it's not comparable. And we can just sit here and just be honest. We can even talk about a fully healthy Timberwolves team. That team is way better than the team that the Mavs have. Like let's not be weird.
They have a team.
Better at defense, better at offense. Like let's just be real. Luka is half that offense.
And they're in the play-in though, dude. They're better than that.
They're in the play-in because they don't have a defense. Like let's not be weird. They don't have
Luka doesn't play defense.
They didn't have a big man. That's true. They didn't have a big man half of the year. They just got Gafford.
That's why. That's it.
It's important for one of the best point guards in the league to have a big man to throw lobs. That I know you don't know basketball, but that helps, spread the floor a little. That helps him get,
Do you know who Derek Lively is?
Come on, bro. He's a rookie. Are we talking?
What do you mean? Come on, bro. You asked me if he has somebody to throw lobs to. He clearly does. He's always had somebody to throw lobs.
He got a rookie center. He needs to.
Now he's on the bench.
He's what?
Yeah, like he's a bench player now for Gafford. They added Gafford.
I said that he came in half the year. You're talking about why is he the 10th seed? He just came here like last week.
I'm dead.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what people want from Luka. Like, in my opinion, he's doing pretty much the most he can do is what he has. So I don't understand why.
Let's talk about what the question was. We're talking about his particular style of play.
I understand that. What else do you want him to do? He has Kyrie, but
I don't want him to do any more. Actually, I would rather him do less. I don't want.
I think he's doing too much. I completely agree, Julian. And let's talk about it.
Let who do what? Who's going to handle the rock other than Kyrie?
All of those other guys are capable players.
Kyrie,
can you stop that? Like those guys are very capable players.
Who?
They
Josh
are.
Green?
Yes.
Okay, when Josh Green goes against Kawhi, what's going to happen?
Tim Hardaway's capable.
When he hits the ball against Paul George guarding him, that's locks. Next.
So you think that the best way to attack Kawhi is for Luka to attack Kawhi one-on-one all night?
I think the best
every possession all night.
I think the best way
for 20 seconds per possession, he's going to dribble the ball.
What should happen is what he's been doing every playoff is just get the switch and just kick out when he needs to. That pretty much works almost every time.
What have the results been after every playoff?
Every time.
Exactly, because the team is not good enough. You're not understanding.
Bro, you can't sit here. Can you listen?
Morgan,
can you just listen?
No, I need her to answer this. When has Luka ever had a top 3 roster in the West? Not even in the league. In the West,
we can't sit here and just ask everyone to have top 3 rosters. If you're one of the best players in the league,
23 years old.
Listen, if you're one of the best players in the league, you can't ask you to always have a top 3 roster.
Kawhi has. LeBron.
No, he hasn't.
What?
Kawhi's always had a top 3 roster.
Shut up,
Not always.
Shut up.
Always?
Yes.
Nah, I can't agree with that.
Yeah.
Not always. What? Not always, dude. That Raptors team was not a top 3 roster.
Yes, it was. It was one of the best defensive teams almost ever. Everyone on that defense, on that starting lineup.
Your team had a better roster. And they beat you.
That's not true. You had Van Vliet and what's his name off the bench.
Let's say Van Vliet.
You're so infuriating. Van Vliet who was Van Vliet before Kawhi got there?
He was a 6th man. He was a 6th man on that team.
I'm asking you, who was Van Vliet before Kawhi got there?
6th man of the year, dang near.
You mean like Tim Hardaway?
Oh, you talking about before? I mean, I don't know. What does that matter? The year he was there, he won him a chip. He helped him win a chip.
I agree. That's how it always works. We can't sit here and ask for every player to have a top 3 roster though. Like when the Nuggets came, all right, when the Nuggets were built, did we think the Nuggets were a top 3 roster in the league?
When?
Okay, listen. I'll tell you. I'll confirm that you didn't think that. Okay.
Wait, when?
When they won put together last year.
Last year, I didn't think the Nuggets were a top 3 roster.
No,
when the season started,
couldn't have. There's no way.
When the season started, what does that matter? When the season started, I didn't. When I saw them play, I could tell that they were a top 3 team in the West.
This is crazy.
Now it's the West.
I said the West. That's all I said. I said the West. I said when has Luka had a top 3 seed in the West?
You said in the
or top 3 roster in the West.
No. Let's talk about the Nuggets real quick, because if we just take the Nuggets for example, I don't think you thought they were a better roster than the Clippers, right? Because Kawhi always has the best roster, apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
He just said
even though Kawhi was out anyway, but Clippers healthy, they're a better roster. Then what?
Don't say the Lakers. Don't do it.
I was going to post the Lakers, actually. I was going to ask you, do you think that they had a better roster than the Lakers?
Oh, I did not think that. I never thought Austin Reeves was that far.
Okay. I mean, at that point, we had Russ, though, so.
Yeah, next team. You know how I felt about Russ. I thought you were garbage with Russ. That's getting known.
Signs. Don't slip up. Wait, don't slip up, because we can go back to the clips of when the Suns were.
I probably did think the Suns were a better roster. Yeah, that's 2. You have another one?
Bro, there's many teams. That's what I'm saying.
You don't. Huh? You don't have another
Why
team.
do I not?
Can you name it?
What you mean? The Bucks, the Celtics.
I said the West. The West.
No, you didn't.
Oh, God, I said the West. I said Luka has never had a top 3 roster in the West.
What about the Warriors? What about the Warriors when they were starting out?
On God, I never thought the Warriors had a better roster than the Nuggets last year. Period. At any point, there probably wasn't.
I would love to play the Clips back. Like I would love to play the Clips back.
We definitely have to run the Clips back.
Because like you're lying. Like you're just lying right now.
I don't know about this.
I like West wasn't that far. Like I knew y'all were garbage. Like that was a fact. Kawhi barely played. Like I damn near didn't think they were gonna make it far. Like so, it really was just the Suns and like the Nuggets. Like shit.
Listen, bro. I would just answer this question because again we've strayed far away from the topic. Is Luka's style of play going to bring a championship to the Dallas Mavericks? No, I don't believe so. And when we talk about Luka, like Ian mentioned, he's a very young man. I mean, how do young men learn? They get smacked around a couple times until they change their behavior.
You're ridiculous.
Listen to me, though. Luka Doncic is averaging something like 34 points, maybe 10 and 9 or something like that. Y'all fact check me. Maybe it's 9 and 9 or something like that. He's a very great player. We all know about his individual greatness, but it's a team sport. It is. If Luka Doncic could put up 30, 10, 11, 30, 12, 9, something like that, get these other people involved. Kyrie Irving, maybe instead of 26 a game, he's up to 29, something like that. That's a much deadlier team. I'm telling you it is. It's a much deadlier team.
What has Kyrie ever had?
No, listen to me though. And to your sentiment that they don't have this, I have to strongly disagree. These guys can play. You just got to give them a chance, though.
Can you name these guys? Give them a chance. Can you name them?
Name the what?
You said these guys. Can you name them? Like you just.
I already did. We talk about Tim Hardaway Jr. being the top of 6-man voting. Derek Lively, he's going to be on the rookie team.
Lively.
Dude, Derek Lively's very good. Daniel Gafford, he plays his role very well. PJ Washington is a very good player, very versatile. Like, what are we saying? Maxi Kleber, he can play multiple positions and shoot the three very well. Josh Green, for all he's worth, he can shoot the three, and he's very athletic at the rim. Like, these guys can play.
They're role players, solid role players.
You need role players.
Yes, but teams have better role players and better rosters, like multiple teams.
Hey, that's not why they lose. That's all I'm saying. It's not why they lose.
If Luka had better, if he had better teammates, better role players.
Luka's had better teammates. We've already been through that in the group chat. He's had them before. So it's just like
he's never had a better teammate than Kyrie.
Bro, he had Porzingis and Brunson.
Stop it.
So he had a capable team.
Stop it.
What do you mean stop it?
Just like
I don't know. I saying stop it. As much as you ride Brunson, like that's crazy coming from you. Like,
he was hurt that series too. I'm pretty sure he missed 2 games.
Who?
Luka.
I
mean, they were on the team together for years, though. It wasn't a year.
Yeah. They were not. Yes, they were. They're 2 years at least.
Yeah, Brunson was there for more than 1 year.
Okay, well, that was the first year he was actually good.
When Luka got hurt, and then he carried them in the playoffs.
Carried who? Who carried?
Luka got hurt, and Brunson carried in the playoffs. That happened
for 2 games and lost the series.
Nah.
They won the series. That's right. Which y'all hang over my head day in and day out. Like,
yeah,
they beat Utah.
Oh, you're talking about that too? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, we got to go ahead and get up out of here. This has been a very riveting discussion, and I'm concerned about your basketball knowledge, but everything that goes up must down.
When Luka holds that, when he gets a better team, he'll hold the ring. You'll see.
What team? I just don't get what team do you want?
He needs to have a Kawhi-esque team, a Jokic-esque team.
Whatever you say. I mean, but again, if he is who you say he is, all right. If he is what we've seen, shouldn't need that much.
Imagine dropping Luka onto that Raptors team. They don't win.
Whoa.
They don't win.
Oh,
they do not win.
I got they win. Nothing. They would.
All right, man.
You're ridiculous. That's all-time leader in scoring. So let some respect on him.
Man.
But he doesn't play defense. At Take 5 Pod, make sure y'all check us out on all platforms. We will see y'all next week, Saturday, 11 a.m. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, TikTok, as long as they keep it, not banned in the United States. We will see y'all. Stay tuned for updates.